hear the fan. Whew, it's hot in here. All right, I think we're live. Oh boy, that was confusing. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. Yep, I got a little confused there because I'm doing the whole live stream setup and I didn't have the stream linking correctly. It's a whole mess. But either way, we're here, we're live. Let me get the video up here so that I have the live chat going. For those of you guys that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories, teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, we're going to talk about how to ask out your crush at the beginning of the school year. A lot of you guys are going back to school. You're getting ready to jump back into the game. Start school, meaning talking to your friends again, talking to your crush, you know, just putting yourself out there to study more and to just kind of advance another year in your life, in your career, and everything that you're working towards. It's super hot in this room. Give me a second to turn on the fan. I turned it off for the sound, but I'm pretty sure that the sound, I don't think you hear it as much. Now I'm trying to get to the control area here. It's very confusing, guys. Very, very confusing. All right, but it seems like we're running, we're going. If this is your first time in the stream, jump in the chat, say hi. These are very interactive streams. I love talking to you guys and interacting with you. So the more you converse, the more you talk, the more I'm open to talking and answering questions, and the more other people can kind of respond to you. We can kind of get this community growing and growing where people are just super interactive and helpful with each other. Now, let me open up the chat here for a second. I want to give shout outs to the early birds in the chat. Those are the first people that jump on the chat that were waiting. I know there's a bunch of you guys that were in the chat waiting, ready to jump off and make it happen. So I want to give shout outs to those people specifically. So if you're in the chat right now, you're someone that's watching the stream, jump in the chat, say hey, and I'll give you a shout out. So let's take a look at who we have here. We have Dono the Gamer. Dono, always good to see you, man. Hamish is here. Emma Peterson, Imani Galloway, Red Lightning, Random Person, Ann's 3J, Bryson Cormier, Arthur Morgan, Typhoon, Amelia Jasmine Grace, Cheesy Boy, Ian Yon, UTP, UTTPY, UTP, I don't know. Random Person, Derek Gonzalez, Curtis Reed, AWI Sparks, TJ51, Sonic Forces Plus Racing. Anthony is in here. Anthony, good to see you, man. Kabuto Uchiha, Hunter Hansen, Usher Prinz, Nigel Williams, Panda24, Claptastic Zero Jackson, Alex Dixon. Good to see all of you guys in here. This live stream is going to be a lot of fun, I think, because what I want to do is break down the different stages of where you might be when it comes to talking to your crush, when it comes to going back to school, and kind of putting your confidence on display to go after the thing that you want, which is to talk to the person that you like. But before I get into any of that, before I kind of open it up so you guys can ask questions here, I do want to ask, I want to do a quick chat poll here. I want to get your guys' feedback. So if you're watching the stream, make sure to jump in and give me your feedback here. I want to know, where do you guys stand with your crush? Do you feel like you are at that kind of beginner stage where you don't really talk to them at all? They probably don't even know who you are. Maybe you like them, but you like them kind of from a distance. Are you at the kind of beginner stage? Are you in the more intermediate stage where maybe you talk to them here and there? Maybe you guys have a few friends in common, but you've never hung out with them, or you barely have a conversation that lasts more than 30 seconds with them. You're kind of in that middle stage, or you in the more advanced stage where you and your crush talk frequently. You guys talk pretty much all the time. You guys are texting each other here and there. You guys are hanging out, whether as a group of friends or by yourselves. And maybe you're in that friend zone stage. That could even be the advanced level where you're very close to your crush. I want to know where you guys stand. Are you kind of in the beginning, the middle, the advanced stage? Are you friend zoned? Give me your status. Let me know where you stand with your crush, and let's kind of work through those points. And hopefully this video will be helpful as you get starting this new school year to kind of change your mindset and make things happen. So I want to hear what some of you guys had to say. Derek Gonzalez says, how do I get my crush to talk to me, but I'm shy like her, coming to me, asking for her number. Asking for her number, Instagram user, I need it badly. Don't worry, Derek. I'm going to teach you a technique that I use and I've used in the past to kind of get over that shyness, get over that hump. I'll share that with you in a little bit. Dono the Gamer says friend zoned. Dono, I hear you on that, man. It sucks getting friend zoned. Hunter says in the intermediate stage, maybe he kind of knows his crush a little bit. You know, he's in that stage where they don't really interact that much, but they know of each other. Typhoon says, oof, dunno. Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes it's hard to determine where you are, right? You don't really know where you stand. Maybe you've talked to them once or twice, and that's been it. So how do you kind of pick things back up? That's something we're going to cover in this live stream as well. Amelia says, "Yep, a beginner definitely." So Amelia's at that bare bones stage where, hey, they like this person, they just don't really know what the next step is. What do you do after you've recognized you have feelings for them? We're going to cover that as well. Let's see. JTW says, "Never talk 2 years below for me." So if you've known your crush, some of you guys may have known your crush for years at this point. They've been in your classes, you've seen them in the hallways, you've worked on projects with them. Like, your crush is not always someone you like from a distance. They could be someone that's always around you, but you just haven't really worked up the courage to take that step to make something happen with them. So we're going to kind of discuss that and kind of cover those topics today. Josh would be on Instagram later. Absolutely, Curtis. After this live stream, guys, I'll say it now. I do my Instagram after party. So these live streams are about an hour long. Then I jump over on Instagram. I do a kind of after party live stream. You guys should definitely join that as well. It's a lot of fun, a lot more laid back. I invite you guys on and we can video chat there and talk. These are very focused. I'm going to answer your guys' questions, give you tips and tricks to kind of make things happen. So I want to start, for those of you that are in the beginner stage, in that very first part of it all, where it's like, you like someone. What do you do, right? You have these feelings. You've never talked to them before. School is just beginning. So for some of you, they may be crushes that you're carrying over from previous years, or they might just be someone that, for some of you that have already started school, you just saw someone and they caught your eye, or there's someone that you've been thinking about and you're telling yourself, you know what, when I go back to school, now I'm going to make it happen. Dono's saying, "I've known my crush since 9th grade, 5 years. Dono, I'm going to help you out, man. I'm going to offer some practical tips that I think you should start taking." Hamish says, "I don't have a girlfriend yet, but I'll get one soon." Absolutely, guys. Look, the new school year signifies more than just you're a grade older. I think that we should look at any kind of transition of a new year, new event or something as a way to kind of reflect on ourselves, to look at ourselves and say, you know what can I work on? What can I change? What can I improve? And to tell ourselves, I'm going to take more chances now. Like, there is a line that's been drawn in the sand, and this is the line, everything above this line, that's where I'm going to take chances. That's where I'm going to make it happen. Reading through some more things here. Sonic Forces says, all the cool kids are doing it. Absolutely, all the cool kids are doing it. They're joining my Instagram after parties, guys. Asher Trash says, "Josh, are you on Amino?" I'm not. A few of my friends use it, but I've never really used it before. So I want to talk a little bit about the beginner stage here. Those people that feel that they've never really talked to their crush before. They're starting from like complete scratch here. What do you do? What are the first steps you should take? Well, when it comes to starting a new school year, just like I've mentioned in the video I posted on Tuesday and in previous videos, kind of in the last few weeks or so, with the new school year comes a lot of excitement, right? People have just spent their summer break hanging out, lounging around, just kind of not really socializing as much as you would during the school year. So when people jump back into the school year, they're ready for that socialization. Is that a word? Socialization? They're ready to socialize. They're ready to start talking to people, to get back into the flow of interacting with other people. So that's your opportunity to kind of step up and step into that role of talking to your crush. There's no better time than right now to actually make something happen, to actually start talking to them, to start pursuing them, to start getting to know them better. So when we talk about being at that beginner stage where you don't know your crush at all, I think the first thing you need to focus on doing is introducing yourself to them, right? Okay, that seems like a simple thing, but how do you do that? Well, I always talk about this because I think it's important for people to know. Like, not everyone's going to be prepared to start at the same first step. So if I say something like, just walk up to your crush and talk to them, you might be like, but I can't even imagine like making eye contact with them. Or you might think, I can't even imagine saying a complete sentence to them. So it's important to ask yourself and to think for yourself where your first step is going to be. For some of you, that might be, you know what? I'm going to practice making eye contact with my crush whenever I see them. Whenever they're walking the hallways or I see them hanging out with a group of people, I'm going to make eye contact with them. Then along with that step, you might want to think, you know what? Along with eye contact, I'm going to try smiling at them. I'm going to try smiling, so it's not just me staring at them as I'm walking by. I'm looking at them, I'm smiling, so they see I'm a friendly face. They see I'm just a person walking by who's, enjoying their day. Get into the habit of practicing that first. When you see someone, smile, make eye contact, and I always say the third step to that is say hi, because just smiling at someone, walking by, it might be a little creepy, but if you're walking by smiling, say, hey, how's it going? And you just kind of have that very brief interaction with them. It's going to disarm them. It's going to disarm their worry and their nervousness that, hey, who's this weird person? Who's this person looking at me or talking to me? So that's something you should definitely think about and jump into there. So Donald shared a very important link there, thejoshspeaks.com/icebreakers, guys. That was something I was going to jump onto next, actually, and say, I've put together a guide for you guys. Donald shared the link there, thejoshspeaks.com/icebreakers. And basically what that is this. I've put together 20 icebreaker conversation starters. These are things that you can say in a conversation with someone, something you can use to start a conversation with someone. You might be thinking to yourself, man, I like this person, but I have absolutely no clue what to talk to them about, right? Like, where do I start? Those icebreakers are great starting points. And the reason why they're good is because they're simple, fun questions. And really, that's what makes a conversation interesting and worthwhile, right? It's the simplicity of it. You don't have to think of something super complex, or you don't have to have a surefire reason. No, this is the reason why I'm coming to talk to you. All you need is something simple to start a conversation. You can walk over to your crush at the beginning of the school and you say, hey, let's say you've never talked to them before. Hey, I've seen you around before, but I don't think we've ever talked before. What's your name? How was your summer break? You seem like an interesting person. Like, starting with something like that is going to help you kind of enter into some kind of interaction with your crush. You're going to start to talk to them a little bit more. You're going to start to break the ice, that wall that's been put up there, and you're going to stop holding yourself back and telling yourself, you know what, I got to wait for the right opportunity. It's not the right time. No, they're busy right now. You're going to just take those initial steps. So, like I said, I want to do another chat poll here for you guys. For those of you that feel like you're at that beginner stage where you're kind of just fresh in the very beginning, you don't really know how to approach your crush, you don't know what to say at the beginning of the school year here, do you feel like with the right type of guidance, you can put your confidence on display to kind of at least start a conversation with your crush? Let me rephrase that better here. Do you feel like you have that confidence within you to put it forward and talk to your crush? Some of you may say yes, some of you may say no. I want to hear you guys in the chat poll here. Let me know if you feel like you have that confidence, and maybe it's just a matter of like pushing yourself to do it, because you know that you can talk to them, just maybe you're not ready or not prepared yet. So I want to know where you guys stand. Do you feel like you have the confidence deep inside? Like I mentioned, the Icebreakers Guide is a great way to kind of first start, a way to first kind of get the conversation rolling with them, to get out of that mindset that, you know what, I'm going to let another year go by where I don't talk to this person, where I don't make any effort, where nothing happens. Don't let that happen this year, guys. Especially at the beginning of the school year, people are more open to talking. People are more open to socializing. Be a part of that. Be a part of that energy that's kind of there and it's present when school starts. So I want to jump in and ask you guys some questions here. I want to see what you guys are saying in here. Derek says, I didn't give up. I called him on Instagram and said, are you still mad at me? He said, no. I said, I'm sorry. I missed the first piece of that. Dono says no, because I don't want to screw up our friendship. That's a good point, Dono. I think I'm going to cover the friend zone, right? What do you do if you're in the friend zone? You're starting a new school year, just kind of this newness of everything, right? How do you kind of break out of the friend zone? I'm going to tackle a few points on that as well. Lewis says, hey, I dated a girl like 3 years ago and it only lasted a few days. We probably have both matured and I'm ready to ask her out again. Is it wise to do so? That's a really good question, Lewis. If you guys kind of dated just a little bit, very shortly, 3 years ago, a lot can happen in 3 years. Guys, this is important to remember that every year, right? Every school year that passes, you're learning, you're growing, you're developing, you're becoming a better version of yourself, right? Like you're gaining more experience in the world. So imagine what 3 years of experience will do to you, right? Sorry. Oh, let me take a sip of water. I ate a lot of watermelon before I jumped on the live stream, so now I feel like I'm going to burp, but I don't want to burp. I'm trying to subdue it, guys. Anyway, think about what 3 years of life experience can do to you, right? Where you were 3 years ago and where they were is completely different from where you are now. So the short answer, should you go after them? Absolutely. If you think that there's someone that you want to pursue and want to get to know better again, definitely go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Stuart says, I have the confidence, but other factors hold me back. Stuart, I'm curious, what are some of the other factors you feel hold you back? If you feel like, you know what, once the ball gets rolling, I can do it, but I just can't jump over that initial hurdle, what are some of the things that are holding you back? Jose says, I actually don't know her, and I actually don't have any classes with her this year. This can be a major problem too, guys. If your crush is someone that you barely ever see, you don't have any classes with them, there's really no ways for you to interact with them, right? You just don't know how to make anything happen. You have to start thinking a little bit more strategically. Do you have any friends in common with them? Is there any point that you maybe pass them in the hallway that you can stop them for a conversation? Do you know where they hang out? Maybe you can go visit that place with you and your friends after school one day, if you know where they hang out. Try to do a bit of kind of detective work there and learn a little bit more about that person to see how you can try to insert yourself into their life a little bit more. Hey Josh, your name in French is Josh Palais. I think I said that totally wrong, but we'll see. NDF Mixtape says, I sit next to my crush in Spanish class, but my teacher talks a lot, so there are not many opportunities for conversations with her. What should I do? That's a good question, NDF. If there are not a lot of opportunities, I think, to talk to your crush, you're going to have to kind of take advantage of two key points, and that's before class begins and after class begins. So when I say before class begins, I mean this. I mean, you can either hang outside the door of class and wait till your crush kind of is walking in and start talking to them there, and you guys kind of have a brief casual conversation before you go to your seats, or after class ends, try to leave at the same time as them so you can kind of walk and talk with them as you head towards your next class, or as you walk with them towards the next class. Those are two key opportunities. I mean, talking in class is not something I would advise. You could probably get in trouble. The teacher won't want you to do it. But try to take advantage of the beginning and end before and after class. And all you really have to do sometimes is set up something small. So even if at the beginning of class, you might want to say like, hey, you seem like a cool person. I want to get to know you better. And then at the end of class, walk out with them and say, so tell me something about yourself. What's your favorite food to eat? What'd you do over the summer? What's your favorite TV show to watch? What would you do with $1 million? Come up with a fun question to kind of walk out of class talking to them and just having that conversation about. Let's see what some more of you guys are saying here. JTW says, I've been in school for 3 years and I'm in class with 3 others. Don't really talk to anyone else. How can I start talking to people? I'm not going to get into details why I'm in class with 3 people. Okay, JW, no problem. Details are not as important in there. What matters most is if you want to start talking, don't really talk to anyone else. You want to start talking to other people, I think is kind of what you're saying here. If you want to start having those conversations, try to find opportunities where you can engage with people. You can ask them questions. A lot of times, you'd be surprised that people genuinely welcome conversations, genuinely welcome questions that you may ask, random fun questions. I think a lot of times our guard goes up because we're afraid people are going to get upset with us or reject us or not like us. And I think at the end of the day, you really have to tell yourself, you know what? If I'm just putting kindness out there, if this person doesn't accept it and they're rude to me, that's fine. I'm going to move on and talk to someone else because I know that I'm just putting kindness out there. That's the best thing I can do. So I think you have to kind of get over that initial fear of talking to other people if that's one of the factors that's holding you back. If it's a matter of you're not around a lot of people, you don't have a lot of opportunities. If you don't have a lot of opportunities to talk to people, well, I think then it might be important for you to try to find places where you can meet people. So maybe that is joining something local, like a local group in your community, doing some kind of activities that are social activities, maybe joining a sports team, or see if your school offers any kind of after-school activity things that you can be a part of. Try to find other ways to kind of socialize and be involved with people. Let's see. Cheyenne says, I just started making friends and I have to go to a new school tomorrow and start all over again. I hear you on that, Cheyenne. Yeah, just like I said in the last live stream, I think the beauty of starting at a new school and being kind of a new student is that you kind of get a pass. You can talk to anyone you want. You can interact with anyone you want because you're new. You don't really know the ropes yet. So by starting those conversations with people and saying, hey, I'm the new kid here. Where do I do this? How do I do that? Where are you from? People will welcome those questions because they see that you don't really know things yet. And they're kind of, a lot of times people are genuinely open to kind of helping each other out. So guys, I want to jump more now into the intermediate stuff. Like I want to answer more questions. Keep the questions coming, guys. If you have a burning question, something that you want to ask me that you need my 100% attention for right now, you just want to get it right in front of my face, use the super chat function, guys. That's the little $sign down there by the chat that you're typing in. Clicking on that allows you to donate $1, $2, $5, whatever you want. And it'll put your question front and center in front of my face. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll answer your question. I get to every single super chat that I get. So make sure to use that if you feel like there's a question you want to ask, or you just want to support the channel and donate $1 or $2. Josh, you should make an ASMR of him drinking water. I know, right, guys? Just like I mentioned before, once I get my my meditation channel going, we're going to have some ASMR water drinking. ASMR water drinking and eating a banana. Those are going to be two random. No one will understand unless you're part of this community. No one will understand. All right. Bryson says, Josh, how do I know if my girlfriend is the right one for me? That's a really good question, Bryson. It's not always easy to determine if a person that you're with is the perfect partner, if that even makes sense, the right partner for you. I think one way to kind of really determine that is you have to ask yourself this. One, how do you feel about that person? Do you deeply care about them? Do you deeply care about their growth and them growing as a person? Two, do you feel like they feel that same way back, right? Do you guys have that mutual feeling for each other? And three, I think, just kind of quickly bringing it together, that third point would be, are they open to kind of experiencing new things with you? Meaning, when you guys talk to each other, when you guys have conversations through text or on the phone or in person, are you guys just open with each other? Do you share things with each other, or do you feel very reserved and kind of cut off, or like they're not opening up to you? They're not really just being their honest self with you. And are they open to doing new things? Do they want to go places, go bowling with you, go to the movies with you? Do they want to hang out with you or play video games with you? See if those are the kind of things, if you guys can kind of mesh in that sense. Because if you can, then I think for now, they are the right person for you. They're the person that you should probably be with. That may change a year from now. That may change 5 years from now. Who knows? I think instead of thinking in terms of, is this the perfect partner? Is this the right person for me? You have to ask yourself, is this the right person for me right now? Is this the kind of person I need in my life so I can grow and I can feel happy and better about myself? So you jump in more. I want to jump in more. So Real Chandler says, how do I change friendship groups? I'm uncomfortable with my current P&E. I don't know what P&E is, but if you want to change friendship groups, that's going to be a tough one because your friends may feel like you're abandoning them, or they might get upset with you for it. I think ultimately what you have to think about is this. You have to think about, are the people in your life bringing a value that makes you feel better about yourself? Are they inspiring you? Do you feel energized when you're with them? Or do you feel like they tear you down, they make fun of you, they don't understand you? If that's the case, if the people in your life are not adding to your life, then they're not the kind of people you want to be surrounded with. Now, in terms of kind of moving on from them, what I would recommend is this. If they ask you to hang out or they ask you to be a part of something, I think what you can do is just kind of softly decline and say, I'm busy that day, and start to pursue other people. Maybe there are other people in your classes that you know that you talk to every so often that you could get to know better, that you can get to know better by asking more questions and learning more about them, or even inviting them to hang out. That transition of cutting off your old friends and moving to a new friend group is going to be slow a lot of times because your old friends are not really going to understand why you're cutting them off, and it's going to be confusing to them, and they may get upset about it. So it's going to be a slow burning transition there, but I think it's the right step to take. Darius says, this is the Hollywood police. Sony, let Spider-Man go. Give yourself up to the Disney. We're surrounded. You come out with your hands up. Yeah, guys. How many of you guys were shocked to hear about that Spider-Man news that Spider-Man's no longer part of the MCU? That was pretty shocking to me. All right, I want to jump in and answer some more questions here. Bryson Cormier says, how do I get over my past? My heart has been broken before, and now I don't know who to trust. That's a good question, Bryson. I think that if you've been hurt in the past and maybe you have a little bit of resentment, or you're more reserved about trusting others and putting yourself out there, I think you have to take small steps. You need to tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to start working towards kind of maybe hearing people and listening to their stories when I talk to them. If I can get people to open up to me, then it'll be easier for me to open up to them, because I'm going to be more trusting of them once I know that they can open up to me. You know what I mean? When it comes to trusting people, if they can kind of reveal who they are, it allows you to then reveal who you are, and you're not afraid that they're going to hurt you because they've done it first. Try taking that route. One thing I want to jump into, guys, here is that if we're talking more about the intermediate stage of asking your crush out, like where you ask you guys this question. We'll do another chat poll here. How often do you talk to your crush? Very often, not that often, every single day. I want to hear from you guys how often you actually talk to your crush, because I think that plays a huge role in jumping into the school year and seeing what's the best direction for you to take, the best direction for you to kind of think about, how do I get to know this person better? Do I talk to them on the phone? Do I text them more? Do I ask them to hang out in person? It'll kind of determine where is the best path forward for you. So I want to hear from you guys what you guys had to say. How often do you talk to your crush? I'm really curious to know. Let's see. Dono says not often anymore. Yep. So Dono, it sounds like you feel like you've been friend zoned, so you kind of distance yourself from them. I hear you on that. Emma says never. Boxer says please help. What's the matter, Boxer? What's on your mind? Nisha says often. Steph says 1 or 2 times in a school day. Imani says often. Jose says not yet. Not yet. Why is there a car honking so much outside? Let's see. Derek says I don't talk, but I do high five, but low. So you low five them, or you high five them low, like really low? Let's see. BFF Schwad says rare. I talk to her, but I try to improve. Yep, I hear you on that, man. Cheyenne says I haven't started my new school year, but I'm probably going to ask out. You're probably going to ask out your crush, I think, Cheyenne, when you go back. Is that your plan? Kabuto says, yeah, almost every single day. If I don't talk to her often, she will text me and vice versa. Okay, that's a lot of honking. Yeah, there's a lot of honking outside. Yeah, guys, look, it seems like you guys some of you talk frequently or less frequently, variety of how often you talk to your crush, but it sounds like for some of you, you might be in that intermediate stage where it's like, all right, well, how do I kind of get a little bit more official with things? How do I kind of actually turn this crush into a potential dating scenario where I can get to know them better? Well, that's a good question. I think that one way to kind of think about that is this. You have to ask yourself, if I were to ask this person to hang out, what would they say? Would they be up for it? Would they not be up for it? Hold on a second. I clicked on the wrong thing. Hamish, thank you so much for the £1 super chat, man. I truly, truly appreciate it, Hamish. Thank you for being a supporter and being part of this community, man. I really appreciate it. So like I said, if you were to ask yourself, how comfortable I am with this person, how often do I talk to them? If you were to ask them to hang out, what do you think they would say? I want to do a chat poll here and actually get your guys' opinion on that. If you were to ask out your crush, what do you think they would say? Would they say one-on-one hanging out, not like a group hangout, one-on-one? Do you think they'd be up for it? Do you think they'd be like, no, I'm going to pass? Do you think they'd say, hey, we're just friends? What do you think their response would be if you were to ask them out? I think that a lot of times we're afraid to ask out the person that we like because we're afraid we're going to get rejected. We're afraid that like the closeness that you've developed with them might go away if you try to take it to the next step, if you know what I mean. Like things might seem okay now, meaning you guys talk casually and you like that. You want to have something closer with them, but you're afraid that any move you make might throw you off base and you're going to lose it all. That was something that I dealt with a lot when I was in school. I was terrified of the idea of, the person that I liked, if I asked them out, if I actually made a move, that would be the end of it. They would be like, whoa, you like me? No, not going to happen. And then that's it. We'd stop talking to each other. It'd be weird or awkward after that. Let's see. I asked you guys, if you asked your crush out, what would they say? Typhoon says, hell nah. Amelia says, I don't know. My name is Jeff says, crushes are just the thing you have for a person that makes you heartbroken for really no reason. I hear you on that, Jeff. It sounds like you yourself have been heartbroken. Shane Clark says they would probably say yeah. Amani says Andrew asked me. Awesome, Amani. Hunter says they might say yes or maybe not. I'm not sure yet. Steph says right now, no. BFF Schwad says yes, always. Dono says he'll get that line, I have a boyfriend. It's the worst, guys, when your crush is dating someone else. The worst. Hamish says, let's talk about it in private. That's what you might say. Hey, if she says that, then that's a good sign, I think. Dano says the answer would be, La da da dee da 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 da. Dano said that again. All right. So yeah, Ashley says, my crush is my best friend and he is straight. Max Sanchez says, if I see a girl I like for the first time, do I show intent, like tell her she's cute, or do I just be indirect and be friends with her first? That's a good question, Max. You like a girl, you don't know what to do. Do you be direct, or do you kind of take it slow and take the friends route? Well, I think it really depends on who you are as a person. If you're the kind of person that is very flirtatious, if you're the kind of person that is very open, very kind of in the moment, like you're just that kind of person, then I would say go for it. I would say, hey, listen, you're cute. What are you doing on Friday? Let's hang out sometime. Be ballsy if that's what you feel like you are more comfortable with. But if you feel like you're more shy, you're more reserved, you're going to stumble over your words, you're not quite confident just yet, then I don't think there's a problem with taking a slower path to the point where you can feel comfortable kind of taking that next step. So if you don't feel like you can just jump into and be like, hey, you and me, let's go out. If you don't feel like you're there, you might want to say, listen, you seem like a cool person. Let's get to know each other. Let's hang out sometime, and take it slower like that. So it really depends on where you are and what you feel comfortable with. So I asked you guys, if you asked out your crush, what would they say? Some of you said yes. Some of you said hell nah. But I think the point is this. It's that if you're in that middle stage and you don't really know your crush that well, you guys are not that close, you might want to start thinking about ways that you can get closer. So hanging out as a group is one easy way I think you guys can kind of step in and do that. What do I mean by hanging out as a group? What I mean is this. Organizing something with you and your friends. Get a bunch of your friends together and then invite your crush and their friends to join you along with your whole group. So one way you might want to think about doing that is think about a movie that just came out. What's the latest movie that just came out? Get your friends together and say, hey, this movie just came out. Let's go watch it. Tell your crush, hey, listen, what are you doing on Friday? What are you doing on Saturday? A bunch of, people from school are going to go watch this movie. You want to come join us? And invite your crush to be part of that experience with you. Now, by doing this, you're going to move from this casual, hey, how's it going? Or randomly DMing each other. You're going to move away from that. And you're going to move towards more of a, we are comfortable around each other. Trust me, when you're outside of school, it's a lot easier to socialize with that person. It becomes so much easier to just kind of casually hang out with them, joke about other things. So I would focus on doing that, guys. Start focusing on organizing a group hangout with other classmates, other people that you know, so that you and your crush can kind of take time outside of school to get to know each other. That's going to play a pivotal role in helping you get closer to them. The Boxer asks a really good question. How do I flirt? Look, Boxer, when it comes to flirting, I think a big piece of it is this. I've done a few videos on flirting. I'll link them up over here and the cards once this live stream ends. But I think when it comes to flirting, what you really want to focus on is this. You want to show that person that you are comfortable teasing them and joking around with them. So when you ask, how do I flirt? I think one way to do that is to joke around about something or tease them about something. Let's say, for example, you ask them who their favorite musical artist is, and they say someone random and weird. You can joke around and tease them about that. Say like, you like this person? That's it. You and me? No, we're never going to be friends. That's it. Our friendship's over. Like saying something as dramatically funny as that is going to make them be like, what? This person's so silly. And that's going to create the lightheartedness that you need, while also building a bit of tension by saying something like, no, we're not going to be friends. They're going to feel this desire of like, why doesn't this person like me? And that's going to pull them closer to you, right? It's that kind of reverse psychology type of thing where it's like, by pushing this person away playfully, they actually want to get closer to me. So I think that's the process for flirting. That's how you start to get closer to them. I want to see what some of you guys are saying. Sonic Forces says, I'm still afraid to talk to girls and get a girlfriend. There's one girl from summer camp I worked at. There's one girl from the summer camp that I worked at that I want to be friends with, and I was so afraid to talk to her. This girl is now in a relationship, and I'm even more afraid to get a girlfriend. Sonic, I hear you on that. Look, guys, the reason why I said now is the perfect time to ask out your crush at the beginning of the school year is because if you wait a week, you wait a month, you wait time, wait for that right opportunity, what you're going to end up finding out is this. Other people also like your crush and other people are going to ask them out. You're not the only one in line waiting to talk to that person. So the longer you wait, the higher the chance that someone else is going to step in and ask them out. So you don't want to wait, guys. You don't want to lose the opportunity. You don't want to run into a situation where the girl you like ends up getting a boyfriend or the guy you like ends up dating someone else, guys. It happens a lot. Trust me on this. When people wait, they miss that opportunity. Hamish says, Josh, because of my Asperger's syndrome, talking to girls can make me nervous. Hamish, I totally get you on that. I think with people with Asperger's, not even just talking to girls, but sometimes having any kind of conversations, especially with people they don't know, can make them nervous or shy or feel like they're going to mess something up even before they've started that conversation. That's why, Hamish, I think that the best thing you can try doing is go into any kind of conversation, no matter what conversation it is. In this case, let's take conversation with your crush. Go into any kind of conversation with a single focused intention. That single focused intention is, you know what? I'm going to learn this person's name. You know what? I'm going to learn something interesting funny about this person. You know what? I'm going to ask this person to join me to do something. If you go in with a singular focus of what you want to do in that conversation, your mind will start to wander a lot less. You'll start to notice that you're not thinking about a million potential things that can go wrong because you're only focused on what you want to do and aiming for that one thing. Let's see. Jose says, how do I build up my sense of humor? That's a good question, Jose. I think at the beginning of the school year, when you're kind of just jumping back into school, a lot of people end up doing and saying dumb things and acting silly just to kind of get people's attention. Don't take that route. I took that route in high school. I would do a lot of silly and stupid things thinking, wow, this is going to impress the girls that I like, but they would laugh and then they would walk off because it wasn't enough. It wasn't sticky enough to keep them there. So how do you kind of build up your sense of humor? I think you need to kind of be more observational in what's going on around you. Try to look at things that are happening that's funny. Try to look at funny things that people say around you. If you can kind of find things that happen that's funny in class and then talk to the person sitting next to you about them, that's something the two of you can instantly connect over. The best kind of humor is humor that's relatable to other people. Other people can hear what you're saying and be like, wow, I totally get where you're coming from on that. That's the best type of humor. So try to be more observational. Look at your surroundings. Look at what's going on around you. Let's see what the rest of you guys are saying here. All right, hold on a second here. I closed out the chat. All right, got the chat back. Let's see. Nana Oak Wanting says, so I'm actually talking to a girl now. We are on summer break, so all I can do is text her. It's kind of hard to text her consistently. I hear you on that, Nana. I did a video all about texting during summer break or how to continue talking to your crush during summer break. You should definitely check that out. I think it'll be helpful for you, but ultimately what it comes down to is this. It's that, during summer break, people are busy. People are hanging out with their family. People are playing video games more. People are sleeping in late. People have a lot less time to kind of socialize with the outside world because maybe they don't get to travel as much during the summer. They're kind of in their house most of the time. So, they tend to kind of go more into hermit mode. So if you feel like your crush is not responding as much when they're in this kind of hermit mode, what you want to do is start to change up the type of text you're sending. Be a little bit more creative. I remind you of Oscar from The Office. I could see that. I could see Oscar from The Office. You want to start to change up the way that you're texting them. So instead of texting them, sending them a message every day, hey, how's it going? How's your day going? Send them a picture of something funny. Take a picture of something crazy and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Or give them a random phone call and kind of throw them off base and be like, I just wanted to call you and just tell me something. What's a good song to listen to on the radio or something? What's a good song to play on YouTube right now while I clean? Come up with something fun, have a brief conversation, and hang up. Those small little interactions are going to throw them off base. They're going to be like, wow, this is fun. This is interesting. It's something different. Someone had mentioned the push-pull technique when it comes to flirting. Absolutely. The push-pull technique is a great way to kind of flirt with someone because you're showing them that I like you, but I don't know you that well yet. I like you, but I don't know you that well yet. I don't know you that well yet. So that's a great way to kind of really kind of get that person more involved and intrigued and interested in who you are and what you're doing. Amelia says, am I the only girl? Just wondering, put a green heart if you're a boy, put a purple if you're a girl. Yeah, guys, that's a cool thing. Let's try that out here. If you're a boy, put a green heart, right? If you're a girl, put a purple heart. Let's see what the ratio of people is in the live stream right now. Mira Lind says, why do you avoid my question? I must have missed it, Mira. I'm kind of looking at the chat every so often. So if I miss your guys' questions, if you have a burning question, something you want to ask me, the super chat function is there. It'll put it right in front and center in front of me. Otherwise, if I miss your question, I apologize. You can ask it again once I kind of get to the Q&A piece of this, even though we're answering questions now. So I want to jump into kind of the advanced scenarios. These are scenarios where you're starting school year, you want to ask out your crush, but you're in the friend zone, or you your girlfriend or boyfriend, the person you like has a girlfriend or boyfriend, or you like someone and they're of the opposite sex and you can't really, not the opposite sex, they're the same sex and they may not like you back. Any of these type of situations, guys, where things are just a little bit more complicated, beyond just, I like them, how do I talk to them? It's more like there are other factors that are kind of making it difficult. I want to jump in here where you guys are saying, it's a lot of green hearts coming in. Destiny gave a little devil horns. Hamish gave purple hearts. Giselle gave purple hearts. Giselle, thank you so much for being a channel member, by the way. I truly, truly appreciate having you on board. Guys, if you want to support the channel, there's a few different ways you can do that. Becoming a channel member here on YouTube, if you go to my YouTube channel, right next to where the subscribe button would be, there's a little join button. If you join, you get special perks there. Some of the special perks are, I will give you direct invite to the Discord, which is totally free. Anyone can join, but I'll give you a direct invite to it. Another thing is that if you guys join at the community level, you'll get behind the scenes videos that I put together every week, kind of showing you what I'm working on, what I'm doing, kind of all the things I have planned for the channel coming up. And then at the champion level, the champion level is the highest level. That's the $10 a month level. You can have one-on-one conversation with me every month on video chat. This is something I've been doing with a few people that has been super, super successful for them. There are a few people I've been talking to for months at this point. And every month we get together, we talk. They walk me through what's been going on in their life. They fill me in. I kind of give my advice. I help them kind of set a direction going forward. And they kind of go off. And then the next month they fill me in and we keep this pattern going. And it's been so helpful for the people that I have been talking to. So I would highly, highly recommend guys doing that. If you want to join, just hit the little join button. Another way to join is also through Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks, that's another way you can join and kind of support the channel and get all these awesome perks that come along with it. So Giselle is a new channel member. They're a supporter here on the Josh Speaks, so thank you, Giselle. And Hamish as well. Hamish is a champion level member, guys. Wanted to point it out, explain to you guys. That's another way that you can directly connect with me, because it's getting a lot more difficult to answer DMs and to respond to every message. So if you want to have private one-on-one conversation with me, that's the best way to do it, guys. All right. So like I was saying, these kind of more difficult advanced situations, let's go through them one by one here. Let's talk about the friend zone first. If you're in a situation where you like someone and they friend zoned you because they have a boyfriend, they look at you as a brother or sister, they just don't like you, they think it's going to ruin the friendship, any of those reasons where you've been friend zoned, you have to tell yourself this. Is this the crush I want to continue pursuing? I want to just start focusing the new year, like start the new year focusing on. Is this the person that I want that to be? A lot of times, you have a crush, you go into summer break, you come back and you see your crush again and boom, the feelings hit you. You just get flooded with all these feelings about them again. Oh my God, I haven't seen them in so long. I miss them. I like them again. But you have to catch yourself. If you've been friend zoned, you have to catch yourself and tell yourself, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice here. I'm not going to pursue the same person knowing that it's not going to go anywhere. It hasn't worked for me before, and it's not going to work for me now. So if you like someone that you've been friend zoned by, use the new school year as a way to just change things up, to focus on new people, guys, to talk to new people. What is Visco? I've heard a lot about Visco, but I have no clue what it is, guys. Use this new school year as a way to change things up for you. Tell yourself, you know what? I'm older, I'm wiser, and look, I'm going to look at people differently. People grow, right? People get more attractive as the years go on. People change personalities. They gain different hobbies. Be open to seeing what the world has open for you in your new grade that you're going into. If you've been friend zoned, don't fall into the same trap, guys. I've been there before where I liked the same girl for years and years on end, hoping things would work, and it crushed me inside because I just wasted a lot of time when I could have been talking to other people and pursuing other people, just focusing my attention on her. Don't make that mistake, guys. And like I said, if you've been friend zoned, that could be the case. If you like someone that has a boyfriend or girlfriend and they're dating someone already, well, in that situation, it's important to, once again, focus on other people. A lot of times people stick to their crush and they refuse to let them go. They refuse to move on. They refuse to talk to other people because, no, I'm going to find a way to make it work. This is the person for me. This is the person I have to be with. Well, look, guys, if you're jumping into the new school year with an old mindset, you're going to lose, right? You're setting yourself up for failure again. Don't do that. Instead, set yourself up to win. Set yourself up in a way where you're open to what the world is going to bring you this new school year, because it really is about shifting your perspective, shifting your mindset towards just really being okay with pursuing other people and letting go of your crush. Now, I want to ask you guys here. I want to jump in and get some of your guys' opinions and what's going on with you. What do you feel like are some of the tricky situations you're in with your crush that's kind of holding you back? It could be anything, guys. It could be you've been friend zoned. It could be that you never see them anymore, or I don't know, your friend is dating them. What are some of the tricky situations that you guys are finding yourself running into when it comes to talking to your crush? And do you feel like now that the new school year is beginning that you can kind of overcome those challenges? Is there a way forward? Do you feel like there's a way forward? I'd be very curious to hear what you guys have to say. Ash's Trash says, Josh, there's a person I want to talk to because we're both in a furry fandom and the LGBT community, but I'm too awkward to talk to new people and make friends. How can I start a conversation with them? I hear you on that, Ash. So you're both part of the furry fandom. You're both involved in furry fandom, and you're both a part of the LGBT community. I think a lot of times, like you said, there is a fear. There's a fear sometimes of revealing the things that you like or revealing a little bit about yourself. Guys, I want to give a shout out to Hamish. Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. That's a big amount, man. Thank you so much. Hamish says, Visco is a place to express yourself, make beautiful photos and videos, and connect with the creative community. So guys, you tell me, is Visco something I should look into and be on? Is that a platform I should be on? I don't really know much about it. Destiny says my friends are in the furry fandom. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of you guys that are involved in furry fandom or like furry art and things like that. I think that a lot of times there's a fear that other people might not get it or understand the things that you like, whether you're a brony, whether you're into furries, whatever it is, whatever it may be, guys. Look, I collect action figures, right? I love collecting action figures. I have tons and tons of Marvel figures. There are a lot of people who just don't get it. They look at me like that's weird. Oh, you collect toys, you're an adult? I get that all the time. So you may like something that other people may not understand, and it may make you fearful to talk about that. But I think here's the thing. The more you put yourself out there, the easier it becomes to kind of deal with any kind of negativity or backlash that people bring your way. So if people are kind of judging you or making fun of you for the things that you like, it's important to just recognize, you know what? Like, I know who I am. I know what I like. And this person, like, they just don't understand that. And I'm not going to focus my time and attention on someone who's unwilling to be understanding. Like, they aren't the kind of people you want in your life. Hamish, once again, I want to say thank you so much for that super chat, man. It really does mean a lot to me. So guys, Shadow King is asking, what's the furry? One of you guys who are into furry fandom, you can explain in the chat here, explain what furry fandom is all about and everything there. Nana Okwaning says, this girl says she's freaky. This is one of my first relationships, so I don't know if I'm on our level yet. What should I do? That's a really good question, Nana. If you feel like this girl is a little bit more advanced sexually, a little bit more open to doing things, maybe kissing, hugging, anything, right? Doing more sexual things with you, and you're not right there, you're not quite ready to jump into those things, I think one thing you need to tell yourself is this. It's that you have to be honest with that person. You need to let them know, listen, I'm not ready for that yet. I want to take my time. I don't want to feel rushed. So I hope that, we can kind of be respectful of each other there and kind of go on this path together. You need to make that clear to the person. Otherwise, they're going to keep pushing you, and you might buckle and just do something because you don't want to make things weird, or you don't want to look awkward, or you're nervous to say something. But the sooner you could start being honest with that person, the better, guys. The easier it becomes. The Random Gamer says, should I ask out my crush the next time I see her? If it's in the beginning of the year and she's not in my class? That's a good question. Should you ask her out the next time you see her in the beginning of the year? Random Gamer, I think it really depends on whether or not you truly believe that she's going to say yes. So if you're just talking to her for like the first time and you say, hey, let's go out, let's hang out sometimes, she might say yes, she might say no. What I would recommend is this. The first conversation you have with her, make it about catching up. Make it about talking about your summer. Make it about learning a little bit more about her. Just spend that time just connecting with her, and then lead into asking her out. You might want to say, wow, like you're just such a fun person to talk to. We got to hang out sometimes. What are you doing after school tomorrow? What are you doing after school tonight? Jump into that conversation after you've already done the catch up with her, because once you've caught up and you've kind of talked things out a little bit, it becomes a lot easier for them to be okay with continuing that conversation through hanging out. Hamish says, Jose, you're not ugly. You're beautiful just the way you are. You need to learn to accept that. Jose, look, we all come in different size, shapes, and colors and everything, man. Some people, let's say, won the genetic lottery, and conventionally by society standards, they're beautiful, while some people are not. I think at the end of the day, it isn't a matter of ugly people are ugly and that's it for them. It's that we all have to move forward, no matter who we are. We all have to move forward, and we need to put our best selves forward, because that's the only way that we're ever going to feel happy and confident with ourselves. Whatever you bring to the table, whether you feel like you are ugly, whether you feel like you are overweight, whether you feel like you're too short, whether you feel like you're not smart enough, or you have a stutter, or you can't carry a conversation, whatever it is, whatever you feel is something that's holding you back, recognize, is it something you can change? Is it something you can work on? If it's not, if it's just something that you are born with and that's that, then I think you need to stop letting that thing be the thing that's holding you back, because you can't change it. It is what it is. It's who you are. Focus more on what you can change, what you can develop about yourself. That's how you're going to make real progress. So, this live stream is going to go a little bit later than 6 because I started just a few minutes later. So we'll go till like 6:05 or something like that. But I do want to say this, guys. I want to give a quick plug here and fill you guys in. So I know a lot of you guys are getting ready to go back to school, and some of you are going to have to take the bus to go to school. Some of you're going to get driven. Some of you are going to one of the mods, I figure out what to do with Elliot. I think if we delete his messages, if he keeps saying things, guys, just block him for a little bit or whatever it may be. I was pointing out here, guys, I wrote this book, Embracing the Awkward. A lot of you guys know about it. For those of you that don't know about it, this is the book I wrote for teens. It's a guide for teens to succeed at school, life, and relationships. If you feel like those are areas of your life that you want to improve or things you want to work on, this is the book you need to read. I wrote a lot of different chapters in here, talking about how to build your confidence, how to like creating healthy relationships, guys, managing and overcoming rejection. There's a lot in this book that I think will be super helpful for you, especially if you're starting the school year. I think it's a good thing to kind of read on your way to school, read when you're on your way home, just kind of pick up little bits of knowledge from it, guys. If you want to check it out, just head to thejoshspeaks.com/awkward. That'll take you to the Amazon link for the book. Guys, we are almost, just to my own horn a little bit here, because I'm proud of this. We're almost at 1,000 copies sold. I think last I checked, I got the Q3 report or Q2 report from the company, and it was like 983 books sold. We're almost at 1,000 books sold, guys. Like, that blows my mind. So if you're someone that doesn't have this book yet, I highly recommend checking it out. I think it'll be super helpful for you. I wrote it just for you guys. For those of you that said you can't afford it, I totally get where you're coming from there. Look, what I talk about in the book what I talk about in my videos. Also, if you want a cheaper version of the book, the ebook is also available on Amazon. It's a few dollars cheaper than the print book, so you can always check out the ebook as well. Thank you guys for taking care of Elliot. He's just saying a bunch of random things. Anyway, I want to see what more you guys are saying here. let's just jump into the Q&A, guys. I want to hear your guys' situation, because when we talk about asking out your crush at the beginning of the school year, it really comes down to building up the confidence and believing in yourself and taking advantage of the moment when it's there. Too many people miss the opportunity because they're waiting for the right moment. They're waiting for the perfect time to step up and do something. But that perfect time is right now, guys. I want to hear what some of you guys are saying here. I want to answer some more questions before we wrap it up here. Emma says, I got your book for my birthday and love it. Emma, thank you so much. You sent me that picture of the book. You're holding it. Thank you so much. I hope the book is helpful for you. I really hope you enjoy it too. I hope it helps guide you through life in this kind of stage of your life that you're in. Let's see. Destiny says, I thought my crush was going to say yes because he acted like he liked me, but he just ignored me. I hear you on that, Destiny. So sometimes when you ask someone out or you're talking to someone and you think that things are going somewhere, and then all of a sudden you get blocked, you get ghosted, they just stop talking to you, that can be a real shock. It can leave you like wondering, what did I do wrong? Like, are they upset with me? Is it something I said? A lot of times we just are left without answers when we get blocked, or people just kind of cut us off or cut the conversation off from us. I think one thing you need to remember is this. It's that if a person is not willing to be honest with you and honest about where you're going in your kind of conversation, then they're really not the kind of person you want to pursue, because if they're not going to be honest there, then they're not going to be honest in other places of your life. And that's not really the type of person you want to be involved with. Jose saying, I'm not saying that I'm gay, but how do I know if I'm gay? Jose, that's a good question. I think that a lot of times people do question their sexuality. They don't exactly know where they stand. They feel like they may have feelings towards people of the same gender, or they may not. I think one way to kind of figure that out, Jose, is to just, I would say this, is that if you want to figure out if you're gay, probably spend more time talking to guys. Talk to guys that you just somehow think are cute or you're curious to know more about. The more time you spend talking to guys in any kind of way, the more you'll start to see, you know what? I actually see these guys in a romantic light. I actually might want to pursue them. Or, you know what? Now that I've gotten to know them better, I really see them more as friends, and that's really where it is. You'll discover for yourself, but don't ever beat yourself up or feel bad for simply questioning, guys. We all have questions all the time about everything in our lives. Questioning your sexuality is no different than questioning anything else. Let's see. Emma says, I have a lot of life lessons and I want to share them with you. How can I do that? That's a good point, Emma. One way I think you can share that is, I'm trying to think, what would be the best way? Honestly, I would say probably in the Discord. There's a lot of good boards in there, a lot of good people in there that are kind of sharing their thoughts about things. But I think that one way to share it, Emma, if you want, you can always post on Instagram and then tag me in it, and I'll reshare it on my stories. That might be one way you want to go about doing it. Amani says, how do I know if I'm transgender? That's another good question, Amani. I think that when it comes to wondering if you're transgender, you need to kind of ask yourself the fundamental question there. Do you feel like the gender that you present to the world is who you feel inside? So an example of that might be, for you, Amani, I know that you probably present yourself as a girl to the world, right? How you carry yourself, how you look, how you interact with everything. Do you feel inside that you feel like a girl? Whatever that may mean to you, do you feel that inside? And if that feeling inside kind of overlaps and intersects with how you present yourself in the world, then I think no, then would be considered cisgender. But if you feel like who you are inside feels different from how you're perceived in the outside world or how you carry yourself, then it's possible that you are transgender. I think a lot of these things really come down to diving more into that and discovering more about yourself, because only you can really know how you feel and what you want to do with your life. All right, Hunter says, what to do with awkward conversations with your crush? That's a really good question, Hunter. When it comes to awkward conversations with your crush, I think one way to avoid awkwardness is this. Try to avoid forcing yourself to have long conversations. This is where it goes wrong. A lot of people, and I did a video about this where I talk about texting, that people get into the texting curve where they're texting their crush and wow, this is cool, everything's going well. And then, you hit this point where it's like we're talking every day, and then it starts to plateau. And it's like they're not responding as much. We're not talking as often. The conversations are boring. So you always want to make sure that you're changing up the type of conversations you're having, and you're able to kind of cut them off when you feel like they've gone too long. I know you may think, I want to spend more time talking to my crush, but sometimes it's better to have a short conversation rather than a long conversation. Having those short conversations is going to help you avoid the awkwardness. If you run into awkward situations where you just run out of things to say all the time, like I said before, check out my Icebreakers Conversation Starters. That's going to be a super helpful guide for you in figuring out what to talk about, what to say, and how to kind of get the ball rolling and make things happen in your conversations. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions here, guys, then I'm jumping over on Instagram. You guys should definitely come join me on the Instagram after party. All the cool kids are there. It's a lot of fun. I bring people on to video chat as well. So follow me over on Instagram at the Josh Speaks, guys, so you can be part of the Instagram after party once this live stream comes to an end. Daniel says, seniors in high school, if you like someone, just go for it, man, because you probably won't see them ever again. Daniel, big facts, bro. Just like Guns of Boom said, big facts. It's like, look, if you're a senior in high school or this is your last opportunity, guys, go for it. What have you got to lose? If things don't work out, oh well, you move on to a new school, you move on to college, you move on to wherever you need to go in life. But don't miss your opportunities, guys, just because you're waiting for the right moment or you don't think that you have what it takes. It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission, right? I'm sure some of you guys have heard that before. It's better to talk to someone, to get to know them better. And if they don't like you, just say, hey, look, I'm sorry, and move on. Better to do that, to know what things are like rather than to always question and wonder, what if I did this differently? What if I tried that? Because having those what if questions is going to tear you down. So just avoid them by going for it, guys. This is the year to do it. Dono says, Josh, I miss when you used to say, let me know down below so we can talk about it at the end of your videos a long time ago. Yeah, Dono, I think I'm going to start bringing that back. I used to love asking people for their comments and advice and stories. Part of the reason why I cut that out at the end of the video was to kind of shorten the ending, because a lot of times, people are watching and then the video dips towards the end. People look for kind of key phrases, and that's always a key phrase. If you start to say things at the end of your video like, let me know what you guys think, and hey, leave a comment down below, that's when people click out because they think the video's over, the information in the video's over. So I took it out for that, but I hear where you're coming from, Dono. I think I'm going to reintroduce it and see if it works, if it keeps people engaged to the end of the videos. But I totally go with you. I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing comments and what you guys have to say. All right, let's answer a few more questions in here. Let's see. Emma says, I have the same question, actually. How can I have a conversation with my cousins and my family? Emma, yeah, I hear you on that. It can be hard sometimes to talk to your family members because you may not know what to talk to them about. But what I would recommend is this, Emma. Print out the Icebreaker Conversations guide. Print it out and say, hey, guys, it would be a fun activity. Let's try to answer these questions about each other. Let's play 20 questions and try to answer them. If you introduce the questions to everyone, it can become a fun game and it can be an easy way for you guys to interact. Another thing you may want to think about doing, Emma, is go buy a bunch of board games, right? Board games are a great way to connect with people because, if you ever played that game that throws the whipped cream in the face, the pie thing, I forgot what it was called. That's a really good way to, break the ice, have fun, get everyone to open up. Board games are a great way, guys, to interact and connect with people. So, Emma, I would recommend doing that with your family members. Totally recommend that. Hamish says, I was gay for 10 years and now I'm straight. I like girls more than guys. Yep, totally. I hear you on that, guys. Look, sexuality and who you like and how you like them can change, right? Sometimes people may be bisexual. Sometimes they may be heterosexual. Sometimes they may be homosexual. I think a lot of times it's important to just remember this, that sexuality and interest is fluid. It may evolve and grow and change as you get older. For example, when you're younger, let's say you really like tomboy type of girls. And when you get older, you might like more, feminine type of girls. Or whatever it may be. Like, your interest in people will change. And it's important to not try to pigeonhole yourself into one thing. Like, no, this is the only thing I like. This is the only thing we're going to do. It's okay to be open and fluid with the world, guys. That's what life is really all about. All right, I'm going to answer one more question, guys. One more question here. Let's see. Anything having to do with your crush at the beginning of the school year? I hope this stream has been helpful so far, guys. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button on this stream. Those thumbs up really, really help. It helps it perform better in search, helps it perform better for the people that are subscribed to see it. Just overall helps everyone out. All I want to see. All right, so Matthew Jackson says, my ex-crush said she would date me, but I think I should move on, wondering what you would do. Okay, my ex-crush said she would date you. Max, here's the thing. You have to ask yourself this. If your ex-crush is someone that you dated in the past, you have to ask yourself that simple question. Why do we break up? Did things just not work out? If that's the case, move on. If your ex-crush is someone that you feel like you've grown on from, but you may still have lingering feelings, then I would say give them a chance. There's no harm in that. If things have changed for the two of you, you guys have grown in a different way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with giving it a chance. I think sometimes it's important to be open to that and to not worry so much about like, oh, but should I go out with this person? They didn't like me before. They like me now. Those questions can totally wreck your mind. Instead, just focus on growing. Give this person an opportunity and see where things can go. Sir Uffington says, I hope you leave timestamps. Absolutely, Sir Uffington. After I do these live streams, I try to do the timestamps either the night of or tomorrow morning. Either way, I try to get them up as soon as I can. So those timestamps will be up. You guys can see all the questions that I answered in this live stream. Guys, I'm going to jump on over to Instagram. I think it's time. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this live stream. I hope you guys found it helpful. Before we go, let's do a chat poll here, guys. Did you find my answers in this live stream to be helpful? Yes or no? Write it off in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Guys, like I said, follow me over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. I'm going to go live right now, right after the stream ends. When it comes to asking out your crush at the beginning of the school year, guys, there's no better time to do it than right now. I know you may have doubts and fears. I know you may be in a place where it's like, but I never talked to this person. Push yourself, guys. Take those small steps because everything is small steps. And look, the beginning of the school year is the best time for you to do it. Everyone's energized. Everyone's hype. I know you have what it takes to be somebody great. I want you to help you get there, guys. So did you find this helpful? NDF Mixtape says no. Sorry, it wasn't helpful, man. Hopefully next time. Dono says yes. Amelia says that's okay. Nigel says yes. Aura DeSoli says stereotypical answers. I don't remember what I gave a stereotypical answer for. Maybe you want to clarify. Kabuto says mega yes. Steph says no. Sorry about that, Steph. Sorry it wasn't helpful. Guys, if you have questions that I didn't answer or you still have other questions, jump into the Discord. There's a great community in there that will be super helpful in answering any questions. And like I said, you can always become a channel member or a patron to directly communicate with me, guys. Those are the best ways that I can help you directly one-on-one. Yeah, I see. Yes, very much. Yep. Yes. Thank you guys so much. A lot of claps there. Let's head on over to Instagram, guys. Thank you for being a part of the live stream, and I will catch you guys. I gotta actually get this open so I can close it. Where is it? There we go. Thank you guys so much. Only 43 minutes. It's weird. All right. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the live stream. I will catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys then.